Hello, hello. Hope you guys all having a good one. Let me turn that down. Today's stream is super. As of 3 minutes ago, decided why not just stream what I'm doing, because why not? So, I guess we're gonna be doing some level design. I got a mechanics assessment. I think I've covered a couple times on stream. I mentioned, and I got a bit of work. Usually we would have class now, however, public holiday. So I'm just doing what I would do in class now. And because we're not in class, I don't mind streaming it. Sometimes they say some important stuff, so I don't really want to miss that. So that's what's up. So I'll go switch us over and yeah, fill you in with what we're doing. Let me go. 1 moment. Okay, that was weird. Got a message from a poll that I did for some team meeting today. Right. So I'm doing sort of like a parkour-ish game. Yeah, and so we've got a gun which can be used. Sorry for it being super loud. You got little jump pads and stuff like that, and then you can use the gun to shoot these. And I've been spending quite a bit of time firing these all in. I've also got wall running, which isn't introduced yet, but something pretty cool. Check this out. I've been focusing on some level design. So now the player can go, if they time it right, they actually get rewarded by the super straightforward run. So that's kind of where we're sitting as of now. I do have a second level, so I'll run through it. It is not at all set up. So I recently changed the speeds at which everything happens, which completely invalidates a lot of this level. Oopsies. Yeah, it's not. It needs a complete rework, effectively. I think I can keep everything in the same place, but yeah. So I got these, which is what I'm going to be doing. Wall running, that's awesome. Game looks great, thank you. So this is just like a nothing burger game, to be honest. Kind of sucks. So over the last couple years, we've been doing wall running sort of games, like parkour-ish. Didn't get to do a parkour-esque game this year, so I'm just making up for that missed opportunity. Where are we? I need to. So one issue that I have is when you are wall running, it sets, you have like a maximum speed. Where did I do the wall running? I think I did it under a component. And so I need to adjust that because at the moment your wall running speed is in all sensors. Oh, there we go. So you got a heap of stuff here. 400 jump off force, 300, probably like a 400 almost. Gravity. What happens if this is 0? Do you just move straight without a drop? Oh, that's interesting. So in the tutorial, they had this at 0. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. If I set this to 1, does it increase? Yeah, that 100% does. So where I was at 0.25, I could almost go to a 0, honestly, but maybe like a 0.1. I did feel like the gravity was a bit much. Yeah, I feel like you don't get enough time. Of course, maybe with more speed, it changes all these things. But like maybe like a 0.1 might just overall feel a bit better. And you can put a wall run for a little bit longer. But how you doing though, Volt, my dude? Yeah. I think I want to boost all these, just so the overall speed of everything is a bit quicker. Gravity of 0. New variable. Whoops. Normal. I think that feels really good, but I also want to bump it up a little bit. Right, just getting through this last work while watching your stream. How about myself? I'm doing alright, I'm doing alright. Little stressed, because we're getting... Okay, this is actually kind of... I might be cooking. Little stressed, we got a bunch of... Oops. Stuff that we're trying to do for our group game that's kind of stressful. Okay, I'm kind of cooking with that wall run. I wonder if you... I don't think I can change, like, in-ear movement enough. I go to the main character. But nah, we're doing alright, we're doing alright. We're just a bit stressed with that. Just, oh, sorry. Flying, hold on. I go. I just want to see what happens. So 1. I didn't realize how slow normal movement was. It's fair, I know. Yeah. Hold on, let me quickly... Yeah, okay, that doesn't change. So you must not be in a flying state. That's fair. I don't know a ton about programming, but based on that block code, I believe it's called, seeing on your screen, it seems quite intuitive. It's intuitive enough for me, but at the cost of being detrimental for actual coders. I think. There's some, I think a lot of it is super intuitive and like it's very visual. So, which is great. However, part of the way that it's just simply is made, but also partly due to some other things, it's not the greatest. So there's stuff like, I don't know if you would know of anything. I don't know if it's applicable for you, but if you're working with like within multiple scripts, for example, and these scripts need to reference sections. So for example, hold on one second. Sorry, just responding. Alright, so for example, we see I shoot these, and my score goes to 2, for example. Part of that is to get the score on the HUD by shooting targets. You know, you got to reference over multiple things. Then that becomes an absolute pain. So in C#, which is what I originally learned in Unity, you just create a public variable, and then that public variable can be accessed over multiple scripts. However, you can only, that is at the detriment, of course, of you can only have like one variable with that name, because everything can therefore access it. So otherwise you'd create a private variable. This, on the other hand, not so much the case. You have to, the way to use variables, there's no public variable sense that you can do, is you have to like reference an object, and from that referenced object you can therefore reference variables that were on that object. So now if you start doing multiple references through multiple things, like that sort of like how you would approach that is completely cooked. So in order to do it, what would have just been like a, oh, so you create a score on the, like a score variable on the cubes, and then you would effectively set score +1. So score is score +1 when it destroys the actor, which would just mean it takes whatever the score is, then it adds that, and then that is now the score. And then you can reference the score from that straight in the, you'd just be able to just go score, because you've already got a variable called score, and you just shove that into what the HUD displays. But now I had to create a score on the player character, and then create this the fucking script on the boxes, send that script over to the character, which references the exploding cubes, which then has to be referenced by the fucking HUD, because for some reason I couldn't seem to get the HUD to reference from, it only references the player character and stuff like that, and it's just like, oh. So cases like that where it's just like, there's some things that you're just gonna do, and it's gonna be like a fucking 10-step process instead of like a 1-step process. Yeah, I gotta do these little things. I'm actually having issues, and I need to actually have a serious look. Okay, buddy. And then I get a bloody error code. Ugh. Something to do with like on stop. I'm obviously missing something. I don't think I'm gonna do it on stream, just because opening, I have it already pre-made in another thing, and then making it in here is a no-no. I can't open 2 things at once. One thing I need to do, however, is maybe that. This should visually wrap a bit better, which it does, which then I can therefore just gonna find the scale. There's another scale thing, but I guess you can please no. Ah. I need to compile it and save it first. Make sure it's accessible. I think that's better. Could be wrong, however. So that at least fixed that, and I'll have a quick look. So if I run that, is that giving me a shit ton of errors? Hold on. I got this error log that I need to look at while I run this. I don't think I'm going to be able to see the error log. So you should be able to press... Okay, so that stops all functionality. However, there's something to do with this on stop, which is target is BP commentary. So my guess is that it just doesn't, it's not referencing this. Yeah. We're running into a couple issues. Metal Gear? I'm doing a different game at the moment, Metal Gear. I'll give you a rundown. So this one's all about mechanics. So it's a level that's based around mechanics, and the mechanics complement the level effectively. Game of the assessment. So I've got... Sorry, this is very loud. I can't change the volume. Like, I don't have a volume slider, if that makes sense. I can change the volume of things, but then I want to change it back. So, for example, I've got, like, jump pads. Scared to start learning blueprints. Yeah, it is. We got wall running. We got shooting, but shooting is kind of default. We have dev commentary, but that's a work in progress. And then we've got mechanics working together, so now you can bounce on the things and then it will take you to the next level. Thank you. And then I need to completely remake this level. I was gonna say sound is quite great, but I'm watching on you. That sound, yeah, that's fair. I'm just looking at the OBS sound thing, and it's getting into like the yellows, and I'm like, maybe it's too loud. But I'm glad it's not too bad. The sound is kind of a meme though. I was just like, what should I do for like the jump sound effect? I'm like, you know what? The boing. I couldn't refrain. Ideally, I want to find sound effects for like a lot of stuff. However, oh, wrong button. Let me move this. So, how many days did you spend on the blueprints? Well, let's just say there's a contrast between days actually spent and time we've had the project. I think so. This was a 8-week assessment. So we're split in between 2 assessments. So first, we did like a visual level design, which is this. And then next we've been designated a mechanic level design. So the visual one, like you don't have to do any coding. I did coding because I wanted some really basic scripts and stuff like that. But this one's all about coding. So If I were to give you an actual time of real development, I would probably say like a week, to be honest. Like, if I were to go a whole week, I would be at this point, maybe a bit further along. Although some of it is in class. So I say that because some of this is in classes. Like, we're learning how to make enemy AI, for example, which is something in the next thing, which is great. But then that was like a day, right, of doing enemy AI, and then half there is like the different levels. I mean, that's like, you know what I mean. That was like a 10-minute thing. Jump pad took a while because we didn't actually know how to do it, but I mean, you know, of real development, it was like 15 minutes. The targets I mostly did on myself. It was just getting it to display on the screen was the issue, so that actually took a little bit longer than I was planning, because blueprints can be an absolute pain sometimes, okay? If you need to reference things, Metal Gear, I warn you, if you need to reference things into multiple things, Unreal is like the worst program. And then the BP lava floor is probably I mean, that's like a 5-second thing, really. So mechanic wise, it's actually really simple. But then once you start getting into the whole wall running and stuff, that's where most of the time's been spent. Those are the enemies, but the enemies was because we were just doing it in class. I'm like, oh, I'll pay attention. Okay, that's a name. Spyalka? Where's Spyalka? I do remember, however. Oh, it popped up in your stream. You probably don't remember him. No, I remember. That's interesting. I'm just wondering if I missed something because I don't see these Spyalka. That's fair. But I do remember. To be honest, I remember most of the people from your... Well, okay, to be fair, I am... Oh, stream notifications playing Battlefront 2. Ah, okay. Okay. No, I remember, guys. I remember there was something wrong, and then Spiker got kicked from your server. I can't remember what it was, and then Spiker started DMing me about it. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't remember too much about him. What was I gonna do? Core movement. But no, I remember most of the people, to be honest, from Euro 2. I am still in it. However, the only time that I've really said anything since you left was when somebody pinged me. And I'm like, hello. And then that was pretty much it. Wrong thing. I need to look in here. Oh, no. So it's the on stop, which is on the BP dev commentary. So I'm guessing it's just not being referenced. I think I need a cast, no? This isn't gonna fix it, no. What I need? Object is invalid. Unsupported type. Object wildcard. How do I use this again? These casting will be like the death of me, honestly. I know I use it in the widget, in the HUD. So I tell a lie. No, it's a function. It's a get. What was I trying to do? On stop. Where's the stop? Dev commentary. Get all actors. Oh, hold on. Dev commentary. Each on stop. So I have. Oh, I see. The on stop does nothing. If true. Oh, buddy. So, what I think happened... What I think happened is I had an issue, an error code, and then I moved something to remove the error code. However, that has since broken it. Yeah. We're just getting like this. No good. I'm gonna look at that after stream. Alright. I'm gonna move on to just the second level, honestly. I need to do the third level at some point as well, however. But level 2 for now. And then I need to do... So, in terms of this whole thing, I need to do the third level. I want more sounds. And then maybe some updated visuals. Maybe I can add some more visual stuff. But, yeah. And then I gotta get the dev commentary. Dev commentary is important because that's part of the grade. Oh, I forgot. This level is made up of technically 2 levels because I duplicated. So if what I need to do, what I know that I'm gonna need to do. What the fuck? Is I know that I'm gonna need to push this back. Okay. Actually 2 of these, ironically. Now, is this a global? That's a local. So one thing that I'm using is I'm using these things called box brushes. And these things are super duper helpful. So on your part, just realize this is UE, which version you're using. Lighting is quite good. It's 5, yeah. UE 5. And yes, I'm using Lumen. Lumen. I know the ins and outs of it. We don't get taught, however. Thingy. UE4 is very out of date now, so anybody that's making anything new with 4 is kind of missing the mark. Albeit it is a lot more stable. That's the pro. Significantly more stable. However, you miss a lot of new fixes and updates and stuff. But yeah, I'm using these box brushes like religiously. They're so helpful. I'll show you. These are really cool. So anybody that uses Unreal, I'd highly recommend these. Well, Lumen's having a lot of issues. However, if you... Here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about Unreal stuff. I'm not saying this is you though. This is in general because I see so much shit about The Witcher. Oh, The Witcher's gonna be bad because they're using Unreal. No, that's not necessarily like, you know, it's a bad game because they made it bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad because it's using Unreal. Lumen has a lot of issues. Point in case, if you look at this, we see a lot of like weird sparkling shit. It's because it's shooting rays and then it's trying to diffuse those rays so that you get like it's like this, for example. Actually, no, I got a better example. This is how ray tracing works. I'll explain ray tracing in a very simple way. Wait. I have way too much stuff going on in Blender. Takes a second to load. Yeah, so do I. So, to give a simple rundown, if I go like this, this is the case with everything, for example. This is the case with ray tracing, path tracing, and Lumen. Lumen uses this method, and I'm not too sure if Unity uses it. Oh, maybe that's a terrible example. Hold on. Is this better? Okay, sorry. I think that's not good for the stream. I was kind of hoping, but let me see if I have a scene that's kind of heavy. Because at the moment, this scene's way too simple. It's like instant. Hold on. Here. This will probably work. This is a wallpaper that I was working on a while ago. So take a second. See how there's like these weird dots and stuff? So what these dots are is noise. And what's happening is if you play a game and every like frame, it looks like this. It's just dots. Not great, right? Nobody's going to want to play that game. However, you can use a method called denoising. What denoising will do is it will approximate the information that those little dots contain, and it'll give you a result. So as you can see here, you can see pretty much as soon as it goes from that really weird colorful thing to pretty much what the end result is. As opposed to this, which is still noisy. And so, Lumen is a very bare bones method of ray tracing. So, if I recall correctly, Lumen shoots 0.5 rays. So it's not even like a full ray technically. I could be wrong about that, but I recall reading up about that. Yeah. So once you start knowing all these things, you cannot unsee them, unfortunately. So this is the case with like emission and stuff, and these sorts of like global illumination. You get a lot of these sorts of issues. Another issue you get as well is if I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Let's see. If I go and grab this box, for example, and then I use a plane, for example, and this plane, I don't know if this is going to be a great example. Oops. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember the right stuff. This isn't the easiest example, but see in the corners, like over here, you see this white in the corners. So this white thing is called light leaking, and it's light going through these because it's not thick enough. That's another issue of Lumen. So in order to fix that, you have to use objects that have thickness. So like for example, like this. It may have this issue still because Lumen's fucking buggy, but yeah, you see how it's a lot better now? I'm not getting light leaking. And also you can see it's a lot darker because in general there was light leaking. So stuff like that is very frustrating. So that's, you thought it was the sharpness being turned to the extreme, didn't realize it was a lumen. It's 100% lumen. So this is why, for example, this level is really weird where I got a bunch of these sorts of things. I've got like boxes just everywhere. And the reason for that is because in order to escape this light, the light leaking, I gotta use these, and these effectively block all the gaps for where there could be leaks. And that closes everything up. I don't know what happened for that to be low. I think... Oh, I know. I need to increase the height of all these. But yeah. So those are some lumen issues. So it is lumen. However, if you know what the issues are, you can kind of get around it a little bit. So generally speaking, yes, there is that. However, I'm playing a fast game. You're not going to really notice it, like, unless you really pay attention. It's not really the end of the world. So, yeah, that's sort of my trick. Anyway, check this out. This is really, really cool. So you got these things called box brushes, and for one, they automatically use triplanar. So see that? It's adjusting to be... Now, I don't know, at least U-Volt may not know, Metal Gear will know 100% what I'm referring to. I use, for example, let's see, is this what I think it is? No. But, see what material this is. Doesn't fucking tell me. If I go, for example, and drag this. See how we get weird stretching when you scale? Not good. However, this, if I scale it now, it doesn't stretch. So, amazing thing about these box brushes. However, if you scale it, normally it will do that. You have to use this, which kind of sucks. But that's one thing. Another cool thing is, check this out. I can also go, sorry, where is it? Here we go, subtractive. And so now I can subtract out of things. So this is effectively this similar method to voxel stuff. So very, very cool. You can make some really cool stuff with it. So I like using these. However, there are a lot of issues that can be caused by using them, so within reason. However, I'm just mostly using blocks, so it's kind of, at the end of the day, it's no biggie. Okay, I need to see how far. So I think I were to remove that, I think this could still be further. I need to make it... This is the tricky thing. You gotta, like, balance it for both. But all methods of trying to get here. So even then, that's, like, not great. I think you still need to go, like, there. But, so that's how I sort of go about balancing my shit. You know, move everything, place it where you need to be, and then, be good. The thing is, these stupid things are really annoying now. Getting these in the right spot, but it's worth it. It looks cool. But I am gonna need to move everything in general. I'd imagine I could get away, however, with this. I think even further, but I think I could at least get away with it. Honestly, it could almost be worth. The issue is I'm trying to teach their player. You see. Teach the player. Oh, what was that? Jesus. It'll make it very, very, very simple for the player. Okay. Let's get rough placement. So I can sort of get a feel for how everything is. Oh, yeah. I want it all to like feel good, you know? It's about playing what feels good. But it's kind of tricky because like you try it, that's one thing. I've had people try things and it's like they completely disagree. It's like trying to find that middle ground. The only thing now is because I've moved everything up. Jeez. I'm fine. I don't necessarily need the player. I sort of want, like, if I can get myself to land in the middle, that'd be kind of like ideal for me. So even then, that's like not far enough because people approach things different ways. See, now I gotta sort of like speed up the jump boost. Now the jump boost doesn't feel as good. You can sort of skip things with the jump boost. Jump boost kind of genius. If I want to sort of boost up the jump boost now then. Considering everything else is now faster, I sort of have to improve the jump boost. But it should feel a bit better. First person. Ah, right. That's part of, that's how you'd approach that anyway. BP dev commentary, which is already in. Flip flop. You don't want... That's obviously not plugged in, so this isn't going to do anything. But if I... Hold on, let me quickly test this. And when... Hold on. My thing, I'm like so close. Yada yada. Okay, so we at least got the hide functionality working, so that was something that needed doing. It was 99% of the way there. I was just missing something not being plugged in. When we try this now, I'm gonna run. Jump on. Boing. And we should be pretty much in the middle. Great. I think I'm still happy fundamentally with this level. And so what that means, with me fundamentally still being pretty happy, is I ain't gonna change it, because the issue is you don't want to introduce too many things to the player at once, and that's a concern of mine. The tripping was a mini red person with a gun. You know it. This guy. Over there. And if he touches you, you have to reset the level. I think I'm like at a pretty solid point, at least in terms of like so one thing that was an option to do was whether we add checkpoints and stuff, but I feel like levels of this size, like realistically, if I were to play this level, it's like a 30-second thing. I think 30 seconds is too short for checkpointing. And adversely, I move that there. If for some reason I can't see the box brushes are just a little bugged, so. But yeah, ironically, everything in this game I've made bar the enemies. The enemies are the only thing in this game that I haven't made. Those are just default. And the guns. Everything is either made by me or... Oh, I'm gonna run into a couple issues, aren't I? Or just default into Unreal. So something like this, if anybody wants to remake what I'm doing or likes what they see. Not hard. The textures are all Substance Designer. Let me make sure I grab this. The nav mesh. So this is what allows the enemy to move. So anything within this box, all this green stuff is what the enemy can move on. So I might need to extend some of these, but for now is mostly just looking to see roughly where we need it to be. So in the next thing, I want like multi wall run. Yes, this guy will kill me. Ta-da! You need to... It is very short, so... I think something like this. Double check that that's even achievable, because this is going to be a waste of my time if I can't actually achieve that. It's just getting that can be a little bit of a pain. Just got to time it right. There's a couple ways of approaching this, and yeah, I think that's a perfect amount of movement. Out for the guard. I'm gonna move this back pretty far. So for the next thing, I want to combine everything. The only annoying thing is this point is world space. So I'm gonna have to move it. You'll see. As you can see, I gotta move it. A little frustrating. Just gotta hope that it's roughly fine. So in theory, the player should now be forced to use that control space. They shouldn't be able to run. And I'd update that. That's achievable. Might bring it back a little smidgen. It's because I did fine, but it's not easiest jump. If you mistime everything, that may be a pickle. Ah, my issue. My issue fix. Just redoing that. So there's a couple ways of like achieving this starting section, which I like. This, however, and it's working. Feels good. Behind him. And we're in. Flashbang! I just see myself. Remade! It's all feeling pretty good. I quite like that. I'm pretty happy with where that is. Oh, we're running out of time for all this, but this assessment's mostly finished. I've been at this point for like so long now. I'm actually just like, I've actually stopped doing this. Long story short, about a little under halfway through this term, I'm just like, I haven't even started. I need to get started, because otherwise I'm just gonna leave this to the last minute and it's gonna stress me out. And then like one day, like during class, thank you. I was just like, I'll just make the mechanics and ignore what the teacher's saying. Did that, and then boom. It was already, that was it. Like, so easy. I just ended up doing it in such a short amount of time. How many things do I have left? Not much. There is no right or wrong. I don't think this is going to give me the greatest of grades. However, you can still see the other level. However, I think this is a good enough grade. I think I will be able to get from this. I think this will be maybe like a B. I'd assume. Like, I'm not like super complex. Like, if I made 100 super in-depth mechanics, or like a really nice system, I'd probably be able to get better. However, this one, I think the last assessment I will get decent grade on. And this one I'll probably get like a solid grade. The other one I think I'll get better grades on. So, but I think I'm pretty good. What do I gotta do? I want one more level. So the first 2 levels are like tutorial levels. So it's just refining this level. Maybe adding a couple more things. And then I need to make 1 more level. And then really, it's just getting that dev commentary. So this just explains the decisions of why I'm doing stuff. I need to get that to work, which is 90% working. I need, technically I could get away with it as is, but I need to get like ideally, I need to get like a timer on it. And doing that, I am struggling to figure out. I'll explain that actually. So, in dev commentary, oh, hold on, something just happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. We might be. Wait, what is it? For some reason I can't get that. Oh, hold on. Actually, I'm cooking right now. What the world? I don't know what happened, but these just appeared, which is exactly what I need. So if I go promote to variable. Hold on. Half of my issue is now fixed. Actually, spawn commentary. Arguably the spawn commentary should be in there, however. It's fine. I need instance editable and expose on spawn. I'm the text. Okay, that's working. I don't know what I did for that to work. Okay. So then if I... Where is it? Remove this on stop section. It goes just that. Oops, remove this. Might work. Oh, wait, hold on. First, okay, so we got commentary time. We'll just go to... Okay, that's working. If this text disappears, 1,000, 2,000... That's fine, actually, we're cooking. Outside of this causing issues, I fixed it. I don't know. Either way, that's the base functionality. If these are a little goofy in terms of how they work, who cares? Okay? At the end of the day, it's all working, so that's actually really good. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I heavily appreciate it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about how long I was trying to fix that, okay? I have been trying to fix it for just a very, very, very long time. So the fact that it just randomly fixed itself is like crazy to me. Okay. Ah. Aura points lost. Okay. Okay, so one thing that I really like is one, you can just hold on and you make it on. Like you are, as long as you can get onto this, you're making it. Another thing, you can jump off and get your own placement. You'll actually make it a little bit further, so it's a little bit quicker. Option 3. If you learn how to boost jump, you can completely skip that as well. I don't think it's worth me making an extra way of doing that, but 3 methods of being able to do that is actually really, really good. What that means is that, you know, sometimes people mess up and they aren't like the greatest at learning your technique. That just forces them, you know what I mean? Like they can't fail. Really. Like that's hard to muck up. Because you know what I mean? Like if there's like a specific way that you're supposed to do something, sure. But this way, you know, they can choose if they want to purposely jump off. There, they're forced to jump off. Oh, that's unfortunate. You gotta time that one right, but that's going very, 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 very good. The only thing I would have loved to have done actually for these is inversion control. Then I could delete these files. Okay. I'm just gonna quickly spend a second touching up these levels now. I think. So for this, just bringing it along, increasing it so that it matches everything else. And then that should be fine and stop leaking. There's technically a little bit of leaking out the back, but that's fine. This. Replace that concrete. Make sure that everything's kind of fine. I'm fine with like the underneaths, however, being off. That's what I don't think is the end of the world. Fix that issue. I think I'm gonna extend this one a little bit. Just to stop the player from running into any incidents. Okay. Still looking fine. Looking to see if there's any like missing textures and stuff that may be visible. So another thing that I can look at is, do I want to extend this? I think I want to extend that. Make that wider so the whole room's feeling wider. Another thing, because I want to get the players ready as we start increasing the scale of these things. Because the third level I want quite large. looking good. This. What the fuck? It'll stop the light leaking, I'm hoping. And then I just gotta make a third lever. Everything's sort of feeling kind of central. It's feeling a bit larger. I want this lever to feel larger because the third lever is going to be a decent bit larger. I missed it. Fine with. I'll take you back to the first level at the moment now. See how small this level feels now? I want it to increase in scale. And so I've got a couple ideas. I'm thinking of doing this maneuver. There's something cool that I can do. Actually, maybe I'm fine with this. Ah, I see. It's the wrong thing. Something that I want to try, honestly, for the next one, maybe I might do. Is this? Tessellation. Oh, hold on. Oh. That's not good. So we got this. What I can for one do. You could invert this one. However, if I duplicate it, decrease the scale, subtractive, ta-da! And then I could go, for example, the only issue is this is going to give really weird UVs, which just is not going to work. There's something cool that you can do. So I could just do this. And then the player comes into a massive area and they gotta do some mumbo jumbo, if that makes sense. But that's not gonna work very well for any of these. What is actually the method? Like a... Hold on. Oh. Well, you get the picture though. This is not gonna look good. So I'd probably need to create a whole nother material just for this. And there could be like a... Oh, I don't know. That'd be interesting though. There's a way to like select all of these, and I was kind of trying to figure that one out for a second, but maybe I give up. These are doing nothing. Oh, I got the wrong box selected, that's why. So I know that you still got to do it this way. However, what is this? Oh, so you can actually change it in here. What does this do? Oh, wait, what? Wait. I don't know where that went, but... Well, it's gone now, but that's weird. Oh, there should be a way to select all of these. Put down. Oh, it's not that I really care, to be honest. Oh, here we go. We're somewhere in here. I lie. What the fuck? Oh. When the fuck did that get around? Jesus. Scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck? What did I do? I do like that boost jump. I got it, the idea from Warframe, actually. So Volta, if you're still here, that's my Warframe edition. Kinda interesting. That's so good, Chief. I'm glad you popped by. Hold on 1 second. Right. Me. Yeah, gotta go, got a meeting, then head to bed. Hey, thank you. You have a good one. And yeah. Enjoy the meeting. Jesus, dark here. I don't know, turn the lights, but yeah, you have a good one. Shit, you pulling by. I might end stream soon anyway. Honestly, I haven't done like anything that I wanted to do today. But I wanted to do the 3rd level, and then I did like anything but the 3rd level. However, the whole thing's a lot better now, so I take that as a win. Something I'm gonna quickly do. However, I'm Jesus. Luckily, I just saved before doing that, because otherwise I probably would have crashed out. I probably would have crashed out. Oh, you're actually shitting me. Okay, never mind. I'm working on level 2. Okay, I was genuinely about to start crashing out. Wait. No! Oh, I think I did lose my progress. No. No, never mind, never mind. Alright, that's fine. Okay, I was very scared for a second. Oh, that scared me. So, but let me just quickly choose something. There you go here. And just not get any score. However, I kind of forced the player to, because it was like right in their way. Okay, and this takes them to level there. A bit broken, I don't know what's up with that. Sometimes very hit or miss whether he wants to work or not. Actually, what's going on? Let me just rerun that. Don't know what happened there. Something when I was fucking around must have caused that to go a little gloopy. However, easy enough fix, luckily. Good thing I'm constantly trying this. We see him going. Awesome. Back to level 1. I'll reapproach some of these. Has been be like a 10. This or like 10 second or something, I don't know. Awesome. One can be like a 6 or something second. So one thing I want to quickly try is, of course, I am aware, but if I go... Fuck. It's the only issue. The H only removes the single one. Oh, how do you do that? That's now my next issue. What in the world have I done wrong? I'm aware that one of my friends is manually making them, so I'm aware that if they end up doing that, I will, and I'm still running into issues, I'll pass through them to see what I am missing. All actors of class. The other thing is if I go like that. So it's get all actors of class. So unless it's meant to be that. Ah, I had the wrong one plugged in. Just hit complete and it gets rid of one of them. Maybe that fixes that issue. Lucky me. I'm aware that's like slightly off center. It was kind of frustrating. Who cares though? So now, before I end the stream, okay, that one's not working. Oh, that one is. Now the second and final mechanic for this level is shown. Here there are 2 red cubes that the player can use a gun to shoot with the text explaining what the... Okay, that's a little short. What was causing that issue? One stop is still giving me drive. Does this have time? No. I think I also should do is I can outline the text, or I need to change the color so it's a bit more visible. There's like a bold or something, that would be perfect. Here we go. And then this will outline the text. Means that you can read it. The gun is placed on the path which forces the player to pick it up, which is used to demonstrate that it will have relevance later on this level. And then this one's a bit short, but now the second and final mechanic for this level is shown. Here there are 2 red cubes that the player can use a gun to shoot with text explaining what the goal of them are. There is visual feedback. Okay, that just restarts. Visual feedback of them exploding with a score counter that adds up when more are shot, which ties in together to get a nice feedback loop. Yeah, fix that up. Yada yada yada. Jump pad mechanics are positioned in a way that if the player times incorrectly, they can get a perfect bounce on them. Which will take them to the end. This complements. That needs to be like a 20-second. It needs to be like a 15. Maybe like a 12, I think. 120. Oops. It's getting these runtime errors, which I need to figure out what. I know what it is. It's something to do with this on stop. But it's working fine, so maybe I just don't care. I don't know. I'm going to end stream there, though. That's a lot longer of a stream than I was planning on doing. Well, to be honest, I'm here an hour and a half, but look at my normal stream length. A little bit less. However, but I'm pretty happy with where that is, so I'm going to end stream there. Thank you guys all for watching. Probably normal streams like Thursday, Friday, but we got a decent bit of work. I honestly could finish. Here's my plan. I want to finish my essay. We'll try to finish it in terms of like content this week. And I'm pretty good with that. I think I can, as long as I don't get a bunch of extra stuff, I should be able to, because I just have to do the blind spots, which will be roughly 250 words. Result 500 words. So this will be like about a day, because when I say 500 words, it's probably going to take longer than that. Like this, for example, was 350. Maybe around 350 words, but I estimated around 250. This is 500, so it may be probably longer because it's breaking down my whole survey. This will be like a day and a bit. This will be maybe an afternoon. This could be like my Thursday, for example. Could be like my Tuesday. And then this will be like my Friday morning and the weekend. So I'll try to finish this week, which means that I can just adjust it, receive feedback and stuff like that, and I'll be pretty spot on. My this current one that I'm currently doing, it's the same thing. This visual design thing, I need to do a full write-up here. So I need to completely overhaul this with new stuff, so I don't actually know what I need to do. I also need I did follow a couple tutorials, but I have them all written down, I think, so I should be fine. And then it's just doing a quick write-up similar to this, some feedback, some stuff like that. Yeah, a bit of a mood board and stuff. I didn't really follow anything, it was just my own head. But yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. Otherwise I'll just be stressing about my game. But yeah, thank you. Have a good one, and we'll catch you guys this week. See y'all.